everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about productivity tips, where I'm going to share 7 productivity tips which you can easily use to utilize your kids' nap time. So since you have clicked this video, I think you must be a mom. You must be a mom, and even though you love playing with your kids, spending time with them, but equally you want to also complete your unfinished task as soon as possible. So we all are in the same boat. I understand how you feel. So don't worry about it. I have a 4-year-old daughter who is always super energetic. So I also sometimes wait when she will take her nap finally, because this is the time when I jot down some of my quick tasks which I can complete easily, quickly, which will not take much time, because nap times are normally not generally maximum, it's up to 2 hours maximum. So you have to select tasks which you can accomplish within that particular time. If we're targeting bedtime, then it's longer duration. But since we're talking about nap time and how to properly utilize this, you have to think about tasks which you can at least partially complete it within this particular period. So in this video, I am going to share 7 tips which are super simple. Maybe you already are doing some of this. So I think these are really helpful, because I have been doing this for myself for the last 4 years. So I really hope these tips will help you. So tip number 1 is planning your tasks ahead, especially after having a baby. What I do is I'm all about my planner and organizing my day. I was never a planner person before, but now I'm always writing things down, organizing my day, sometimes week ahead also. So what I do normally throughout the day, sometimes it becomes hard to go back and forth and check what you have done, what needs to be completed, for the day. So what I do is I utilize this particular nap time, and I just grab my planner, sit down and tick on the to-do tasks which I have accomplished. And believe me, this feels really good when you find that you have already done these things and there are only few left. The next tip is journaling, and this is a really great way to plan your tasks. So this is almost quite similar to the earlier tip I said, but journaling, even though it seems really fancy, it sounds fancy, but it's not all about stickers and glittery pens and all that. You can easily use your journal as a way of brain dump. So we are always multitasking, and our brain is always multi-thinking. So journaling is a great way to do the brain dumping, because sometimes we really feel overwhelmed because we keep everything in our mind, and it feels really good and you feel light and de-stressed when you write things down in your journal. Even it's not always a to-do list. You can write down your thoughts, or maybe some other ideas, maybe something related to your hobby that you have been looking for the last few years or something like that. So sometimes it's maybe you are cooking lunch for your family, but on the back of your mind you are thinking about what will be the color of your secret balcony, and your dream balcony maybe, or whatever, your pretty cute outfits for your little one, what are you gonna buy next, this kind of things. So in your journal you can write things down easily, so that you don't have everything going on right here, and you don't feel later you don't have to think about, okay, what was the thing I was wondering, I was planning this and that. Then finally what you find out is you don't remember a single thing. So it's always better to write things down. So this way you won't have to do the brainstorming again, and you will find everything right in your journal ready for you to check. Tip number 3 is setting your weekly meal planning goal. So meal planning was really a cliche until I tried it. So in my family, my mother-in-law is the one actually who looks after the cooking and meal planning and all these things. But what I can do is I do the meal planning or the tiffin planning for my daughter for her school, Monday to Friday. So this way I don't have to think about giving whatever are readily available, like biscuits and chips in the tiffin. I can write things down before. Monday this she'll have this, Tuesday this and that. So that's how, even if you're not in charge of your meal planning for your family, you can do other simple tasks. If you're a working mom who goes outside daily, you can do your own meal planning, like what are the tiffin you are bringing with you, maybe some easy snacks. And if you are a stay-at-home mom, even if you're a working mom who also needs to do the cooking and thing. Meal planning, believe me, is a real game changer. So our my mother-in-law also, they do this meal planning thing. But until this term meal planning came, now I realize, and okay, so this is something really helpful. There are also some easy magnetic boards now available on Amazon, I guess. You can easily buy this and stick it on your fridge, on the kitchen top, where you can write things down like from your meal planning. What are you going to cook, which day, or which, this way all of the rest of the family members can also have a look. Okay, today is this, tomorrow is that. So this way everyone is on the same page. Next is nap time is definitely the prime time to clean up those mess. So when you have little kids, especially like a little baby or a toddler, especially, so you know how your room looks throughout the day. So from starting from morning when the kids wake up, even if they go to school or not, right after coming to school, even if your kid is going to school, you know the whole house is a mess. You can find like kids' toys, their clothes, they need fairy dress, maybe some of your kitchen utensils also in their playing room. Having a kids means there is always something to be picked up from the floor, or there is a huge pile of dishes waiting to be washed in the kitchen because you have been trying so many different recipes for your picky eater in one day. Not only blaming our kids, we also tend to keep our wet towels on that particular chair where everything keeps piling up. And nap time is the prime time when you can quickly clean up those mess. So we all know, because we all know that when the kids will be up after their nap time, again there will be another round. But at least it's best to have a decent look, because that way you will also feel distressed. That will stop you feeling overwhelmed and ultimately get angry on your child. So tip number 5 is utilizing this time to set up the family nighttime routine. So my daughter takes nap around 2 p.m. and she takes it around she wakes up around 4 p.m. So I have 2 hours, and these 2 hours is a prime time where I do the planning on what she's going to have on her evening snack, and also what are we going to have on our dinner. And since my daughter is now going to school, we also need to check like what's on homework, if we need to do some practice, coloring, drawing, and this and that. Sometimes I also plan some activities with my daughter. This way I can have a good outline of what are the next things, what are going to happen. So I have a clear-cut idea about what's going to be the rest of the day for us. Tip number 6 is utilizing this time to target your hobbies. So maybe we all have forgotten what hobbies used to be, but it's always best to have something to look forward to which is not related to kids or family, but something for you. And by that I don't mean your work or office or anything like that, something you really enjoy and you have been enjoying this since you were a kid. So if you can make a little bit time for that during this whole day, maybe half an hour is also good, depending on what type of hobby you have. So try to get indulged into your hobbies during this time. Maybe you like painting. You started your painting like maybe few weeks ago, and this is still unfinished. And maybe you like sewing. You are starting a project new. So do that, whatever you like. But it's always good to have some times for yourself. So my mother loves reading newspaper. Like she has a huge pile of newspaper always ready behind her in her bedside table, where she has this time. Not only it's like during our nap time, obviously we are old enough now, but when we were kids, I used to see mom, she reads those newspaper during the afternoon, or even at bedtime when we all are asleep. I utilize this time to do the research for the upcoming topics on my blog, or sometimes now YouTube videos also. So maybe it's not necessary that you will complete that particular task, but at least you will feel satisfied that you could spend some time with yourself and did some progress at least. So that will really make you happy. So the final tip is taking a power nap. Since I was talking about productivity tips, I kept this one at last, because even though it's not really a productivity, but it is an essential thing to be productive finally. So we try to put our kids to their nap because so that they feel re-energized, replenished for the rest of the day. But we normally don't do this for ourselves. But it's really important that we also take good care of them. So some of us are working mom who has to go outside for work. So napping is not an option for them. But those who are, at least maybe you work from home or you are a stay-at-home mom, please try to utilize this time and take a short power nap. I'm not talking like put your baby and sleep together, like what we used to say during like the newborn child period, like sleep when the baby sleeps. And it's hardly possible now, but at least not like 2 hours. Maybe your kid takes a 2 hour nap. You don't need to take 2 hour nap. Just take a rest for maybe like 45 minutes or 30 minutes. That's also like more than enough. You just need to feel rested. Maybe it's you don't need a sound sleep, but just feel rested, and at that time don't think about any work or your unfinished job, things you need to accomplish next. Don't think about anything. Just plain lie down, just close your eyes and take rest. There are actually a lot of productive things you can do during this short period, but what happens is we tend to feel overwhelmed and not actually chalk out what to do first and what next. So it's always best that you utilize this time to plan what you are going to do one by one. So maybe you have 2 hour time point. You can do like first half an hour you are going to clean up the room. Really cleaning up, power cleaning can be a good way to do the cleanup quickly. So let's talk. So let's say first 30 minutes is for power cleaning. You can set a timer. That way it can be even quicker. So next, for the next half an hour, you feel relaxed. Maybe you can utilize this time for your hobbies. Next, maybe you do this for like maybe 30 minutes. So 1 hour is gone. So next half an hour, maybe you can take a good nap. Not a good nap, maybe just some rest. And after that, for the rest of the time, like for the rest half an hour you have, you can do the planning for the rest of the day. And this is actually up to you how you are going to plan. It's not like each day has to be the same. Different days, your planning can be different between weekdays or weekends based on your kids' schedule, your whole family schedule. There are so many factors and it varies between person to person. Do this how you feel suits you, but just have a clear idea beforehand so that you can plan your day ahead. So these are the 7 simple and very basic tips which anyone can do. It's not like specific for someone and not specific for others, or even if you are working mom, maybe some of the tips will vary between those moms who go outside for work and those who are working from home or staying at home, whatever it is. But at least you can use these tips throughout the weekdays or weekend or any time, not even maybe on your nap time. Also, if you have older kids, you can also use these tips during your kids' school time. So during that time, you are maybe alone at house or the kids are not around. So you can utilize that time to try the 7 tips I said before. So even if you are not a mom, for any women, these are the simplest tips. Not a single tip is related to your kids. If we can all relate to these tips as a person, as an individual adult. So I really hope these tips are helpful. And one thing, just to make sure that scrolling through social media, don't even fall on that trap, because we all know this is a downward spiral and it keeps going and going, and you start scrolling through Instagram. You're like, okay, it's 2 p.m. So let's just have a quick look. And finally, this is the last post you are watching, and what you find is it's already 3:45. So this is how time goes on Facebook and Instagram. So it's always, I'm not saying that don't do that, just be strict. Just do whatever you want. Even you can do the scrolling just like a quick break, but make sure it's a break and it doesn't break your whole thing. So let me know if you find these tips helpful, and maybe you also have some other tips which are helping you, and kindly write them in the comments below so that I can also read them and try to utilize them. And I really hope you like this video, and thank you so much for clicking and watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and See you again in my next video. Bye guys.